Okay, here we go. We've been through most of the Common App at this point. We're getting ready for the activities section, which is also not only super important, it helps colleges see who you are, what you care about, how you've contributed to your community. But really, this is where students really sell themselves short. And I know that you don't have a ton of space here in the activities section, so it's a challenge. But let's dig into it. So we're going to click on activities. And you get up to 10 in the common application. And there are a couple places for you to describe not just what you've done, but what impact you have had on the communities that you're a part of, and also what impact the activities have had on you. So here are examples of the different kinds of activities that they want you to report. You'll see, let me actually just scroll down to one that's blank. And then I'll show you a couple examples. So you'll see in the pull down that there are so many categories. Look at all of these options of things that you can be doing and have done in high school and ways you can describe them, right? So let's just say that you were in, let's just say that you were in Model UN. So how would we describe Model UN? Let's see. We would say that that's debate and speech, right? That sounds right. All right. And so you're going to put the name. Oh, so funny enough, your position and or your leadership goes in this first box. So let's save that for a moment from now. So the organization name is, so I'm going to say Calabasas High School Model UN. Okay. Now I get 100 characters in this box. If I need to put something else here, I can. We have to make sure it sort of fits under the category of organization name. So let's just say, what position were we? We were a committee chair. And we get 50 characters here, so we have more space than that. We can fit more stuff. So let's say we were the Human Rights Committee chair. That's a better explanation, and that already gives us some information about you, right? I already know a little bit about your values just by reading the name of your title. And by the way, let me make a point here. You do not have to be in leadership in everything you do, right? You can just be a member, but you do want to use this opportunity to express your values, to share with the colleges why you spent your time doing the things you spent your time doing, right? Everything you've done in high school has been for a reason. And sometimes the reason is because it looks good for college. And I'm here to tell you, tell your younger friends, don't do anything because it looks good for college. Do things because you care about them and you want to be spending your time doing them. So obviously this is a description of a totally different activity, but I want you to what I'm illustrating to you is that you only get 150 characters in this box. It is not a lot of space. And again, you're better off not using the very limited characters describing the activity, but rather what you accomplished and any recognition you received. Again, why did you spend your time doing this? Everybody knows what many activities are, what most activities are, but nobody knows your story. And this is just a teeny tiny micro opportunity for you to tell your story. Then it asks you what grade level you participated in the activity, when was it during the school year, during breaks, how many hours per week, how many weeks per year. So really quick, there's 52 weeks in a year, there's about 40 weeks in a school year, there's about 20 weeks in a semester, there's anywhere between 8 and 11 weeks during summer. So it's totally legit for you to say you spent 2 hours a week doing something for one semester. That's 20 weeks per year. I do want you to pay a little bit of attention to how much time you are telling the colleges you spent on these activities, because they're going to see, let me show you. This is one of the cool things I love about the Common App. At the top of every section, there's this little button that says preview, and it's going to show you, actually, this is actually a PDF that the colleges receive. So when you submit your application, this is exactly what it looks like. So they're going to see all these activities. Over here on the left is sort of the data that you put in, right? What grades did I do it? It was during the school year, how many hours per week, how many weeks per year. And what this continue means is there's a question in there that says, do you want to continue doing this activity in college? It's totally fine if you don't. You're welcome to say no to that. Don't feel like you're being judged. This is 150 characters, right? I was trying to fill up the box to show you how it is. So basically like, 2.5 lines. It's not that much, right? Not that much going on here. But what we're trying to do is teach them about you. Obviously, you can see my activities don't match my descriptions. But this is what they're going to see. And they're going to look at these numbers and say, okay, 6 hours a week for all year and 5 hours a week for the whole school year. That's already 11 hours. And remember, you have to go to school and you have to sleep and you have to do, teenager stuff. And here's another hour a week for pretty much the whole school year. So they're going to be kind of adding this up and going, now this obviously you only did on a break. That looks like a summer, right, every summer. So this, they're not going to say, that might not be possible. But they are definitely looking at how much time you are reporting on top of your schoolwork. So I just want you to be aware of that. And I wanted you to be aware of this preview section because it's really useful. So as you go through, you can see that most of these things are required with that red asterisk, required. For some reason, organization name not required. Let me give you an example of an activity that doesn't have an organization name. Let's just say you bake a lot. Like you bake stuff every week for your grandmother. There's no organization there, right? But you bake someone cookies. So it's okay for you to report that that's a way you spend your time. That's a 3 hour a week thing that you do. Or say you read a lot or you practice music on your own. There's no organization there. But it is an opportunity to use this space in some way that's kind of creative. So don't automatically skip it if you're doing an activity that's not connected with an organization. See if you can take advantage of that 100-character space that they give you. Okay, what other tips do I want to give you? So as you keep adding, it'll say you've got 4 available. So obviously I have 6 in here. You can add another one until you get to 10, and it's just going to keep adding them. And as you have to make sure that you answer this question. Sometimes kids skip this one. I intend to participate in a similar, that was the continue or not continue question. So just make sure you answer this question, because if you don't, it's not going to give you a green check. Okay, I think that's it for the main activities section. And then when you hit continue, this section is actually new this year. So again, context. They're looking to see if you have some limitations on your ability to do activities. So they say, please select which responsibilities you spend 4 or more hours per week doing. Do you have to drive your little brother to his karate lessons? Well, that is providing transportation for family or household members. Or does your grandmother live with you and she's ill? You are assisting family and household members with tasks such as doctor's appointments, blah, blah, blah. So it is totally okay for you to report that you are doing these things that could be limiting the amount of time that you have to spend on activities. And then they're looking at other circumstances that you may be experiencing in your life. So all of these are related to your performance at school, your performance outside of school. It's communicating to colleges who you are, what you care about, because how you spend your time really is related to and illustrates what you care about. So that's the activities section. I'll be back in just a minute. We'll talk about essays.